Hey guys, this is Tashina from Logical Harmony, and today I'm going to be doing a demo of the BECCA Backlight Targeted Color Correctors. So I recently did a video where I talked about the formula and how to use them and showed swatches of all 4 shades. But in today's video, I'm actually going to be using all 4 shades so you guys can see how they blend out, how well they color correct and conceal, and just what the general experience is. So if you want to see how I use these, just keep watching. I'm going to be using a couple brushes. This one is Conceal Your Secret from MOTD Cosmetics. I do have a discount code for these. If you go to motdcosmetics.com and enter the code Tashina at checkout, you'll get 10% off. If your order's $50 or more, it'll actually be free shipping too. So I'm going to be using Conceal Your Secret. I also have a Damp Beauty Blender Pro ready in case I want to, get a little more coverage or just blend it out differently. And I'm then going to be applying foundation with Beauty in the Base from MOTD Cosmetics. First, I'm going to start by applying my primer, and I will be using the Hangover Primer from Too Faced. You guys know this is one of my favorite primers because it's very moisturizing and it creates like a nice even base, especially if you have dry skin. When I apply these, I like to start with the lighter shades first, and that's because it helps me not to over color correct and not apply too much product, but it also just really helps when I'm blending too, because I can start just where it's lighter and blend those areas first, so I'm not like moving the product around my face at the same time. So I'm going to start with under my eyes, and I'm going to be starting with the color corrector in Peach, which is the lighter of the 2 shades that are meant to cancel out blue. It's going to take a little bit on my finger and lightly dab that on my under eye area. I try and keep this pretty close to where I do get darkness, which is right under my eye. When you're doing color correcting, you want to make sure that you put the product only where you need it. Otherwise, it can cause your other products to look a little strange on your skin because you don't need the color correction there. So it's adding some extra pigment that's not canceling anything out. So that was the color corrector in Peach. Now I'm going to take a little bit of the color corrector in Papaya and apply that where I have the darkest spots. I've heard that some people say this Papaya is better for darker skin. I think if you have tan skin, it works just as well too. You just want to go in with a really light hand. But I do find that the tone of Papaya is different than the tone of Peach. So Peach cancels out a lot about my under eyes, but Papaya cancels it out in a different way. I think it's because it's a little more, I don't know, because it's just redder versus more peach. I'm not exactly sure, but they do work differently. And I noticed that if I use one versus the other, it does look different in the end. Now I'm going to go in with the violet color corrector, and this is meant for spots that you want to brighten. So I usually put this where I know I'm going to be highlighting on my face just to prep that area. And if you have any dull or dry spots, it's also going to be a great spot to put this as well. And just to be totally honest with you guys, this is the one that I probably use least of them all. I do think it's great for me as a prep for the highlight, especially with the formula. The formula of these is very cream. I would compare it to like a thick lip balm consistency more than a concealer, but I just use it to really prep the areas of my face that get the driest, where I know I'm going to be highlighting. Next, I'm going to use Pistachio, which is the green, to cancel out some redness, which unfortunately I have a couple little friends that joined me this week. So I'll just put those right on top. And just like with the Peach, you want to make sure that you're putting this only where you need it, otherwise it will make your skin look a little bit weird. Also going to put some right around my nose. And I'm going to put a tiny bit on my cheeks as well. And like I said in the original video where I introduced these, I don't think this is something that you need to do every day. I definitely don't wear these every day, but if it's a special occasion or you know you're going to be on camera, they do come in really, really handy, and I've been really liking them for that. So now I'm going to use Conceal Your Secret from MOTD. It's their concealer brush. I'm going to start buffing out on my cheeks. I really want to buff out the Pistachio and the violet shades first because those are the lightest and they're also the most different from what's underneath my eyes. While you're doing this, if you want to go back in and add a little bit more, you can. It's definitely better to apply less product up front and then add a little bit more later versus to have too much. Let's put a little more on this guy. You'll see that the green just really completely cancels out the red. I feel like with the violet, you don't see any like immediate change. At least I don't see any immediate change in my skin. But like I said, I put it where I highlight because I think it just does a really great job of making sure those areas of my face stay hydrated throughout the day. Because a lot of times those are also the areas where I tend to get the driest. So right now I've just blended out the violet and the pistachio shades. As you guys can see, it did do a really good job of canceling out redness on my face. You'll note right here, but as you can see kind of around it, it does look a little bit lighter than my actual skin. So that's why I say these are not ideal for everyday use and you want to be really careful when you apply them. I probably should have used a finer brush to blend that out, but I'm just gonna put foundation over it, so I'm not too worried about that. And now I'm gonna blend out the mix of the peach and papaya, and I'm gonna use that same brush to do so. And I drag this not just under my eye where I applied the product, but I drag it up onto my lid as well to help cancel out the darkness there. And hopefully you guys can see that that is a pretty big difference from what it was before I had any product there compared to what it is now. It feels very light on your skin, and I also find that with the under eye area, it does help keep it hydrated too, which is definitely a plus. And now that I've blended out the peach and papaya shades, I'm gonna move on and apply my foundation. But again, on this side, it also really covered my dark circles. It just cancels them out. It doesn't even look, in person, it doesn't look like I have product on my face, aside from right around this guy. It just like, it does a really great job of canceling out anything that you have going on. And that's what I love about these, especially for on camera. So for foundation, I'm going to apply Too Faced Born This Way because that's my favorite. And I'm going to use the Beauty and the Base brush from MOTD Cosmetics to apply that. And I like to start doing this just in tapping motions to really get the foundation on there and build up that coverage. But I also find that doing that does help the BECCA Correctors kind of like mix in with the product better and look more discreet. And for foundation today, I just used a pump. So I find that when I use the BECCA color correctors, I don't need to use as much foundation either, or concealer. Born This Way is a medium coverage foundation. It's very natural as a finish. That spot that was by my mouth, you could totally see that through my foundation earlier today when I was not wearing the color corrector. So to me, this just says so much about how the product works, but also I don't find that it impacts the wear of any foundation or concealer that I apply over it. I've tried with several different things. I've tried with Too Faced, with Cover FX, and a few different others, and haven't noticed it impacting the wear of my foundation at all. Now I'm going to apply concealer, and I'm going to be mixing the Pacifica Dreamlit Concealer with their Transcendent Concealer. You guys know I love this combo and I use it quite frequently. And I'm gonna go back in with that same MOTD Cosmetics brush, which is Conceal Your Secret, to blend this out. And I'm gonna go over my face once with the Damp Beauty Blender Pro just to absorb any extra product that might be there and keep it from settling into any dry spots on my face. Thanks for joining me today, guys. If you have any questions about the BECCA Backlight color correctors, please let me know. Just leave a comment down below. I'm really curious if you guys have them, how you've been using them, and how you've been liking them. You guys know that I always want your feedback, so definitely leave some comments and let me know. And just so you guys know, I will also link down below to products used in this video, as well as a full list on Logical Harmony of all the vegan products that are available from BECCA. I worked with them to create that list, and it's awesome how many there are, so you can find that linked too down below. For more updates on cruelty-free vegan beauty and lifestyle, make sure you subscribe to logicalharmony.net. You can also follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Logical Harmony. Have a good day.